Hi, this is David Bird. I'm looking at the processes that I wrote that are Boomi integrations for the Kiosk company, and this is a second integration that runs after the build cross-reference integration. This integration goes out and gathers data from Salesforce and Sage and decides and puts it together, matches it up, and puts it in a set of two files for me. This process then does two branches. The first one reads the first file, the second one reads the second file. So within this file, we actually go out and qualify the data. We look to see if the date coming in from Salesforce, the create date, is null. If it's null, we qualify it. And the other thing is we look at the Sage update date and compare it to the Salesforce update date. And if the Sage update date is greater, it's qualified to go. That takes it through here. We actually write the qualified records out, and we then run this. This split, if the records are grouped into batches, this splits it so it can be processed one by one, because we need to look at the product, specific product codes. We found like 7 or 8 that had descriptions that caused issues, so we're weeding those out. If it's any one of those, it goes to the accepted route and the process is done. Otherwise, the other 72,000 or 75,000 records take the rejected route because they're not in the list that we were looking for. And it goes up here, checks to see if the record's qualified. If it is, we send it to Salesforce, otherwise we don't. And then we come down here, this is going to products, come down here, we look to see if the record's qualified. For price books, going to Salesforce, and then it's not. And then this process down, or the other branch down here is kind of saying we get the information, map it to the CSV to see if it's qualified, split it up, and then go this route again to send to Salesforce or not. So let's jump into, so you see load product to Salesforce. I actually have that open. This takes the message that's qualified, loads it to Salesforce, checks to see if it was successful. If it wasn't, it takes the false route, builds a message of the data, and then writes it to an error file for Salesforce product load errors. If it was successful, it builds another message, writes that information out, and then writes it to disk, and that goes to the Salesforce product success records. The load price book is kind of similar, except for one caveat. When we get to the Salesforce here, it looks to see if there was an issue. The price book does not allow me to put the product code in if that price book already exists in Salesforce. So we take this in 2 slices. We throw everything up to try to get it updated without a product code. For the failures, we then reinsert the product code and try again. If there's any issues, we actually log it on this route to see if what happened. If there's not any issues, it goes up to the success and it writes the message out, and we're done. There is a try catch here that also catches any anomalous errors and goes about the same thing. That's basically it for the integrations. I'm going to stop this now.